we like to think it will never happen to us. Disasters are for the movies, right? Wrong. Disasters can strike anyone, anywhere, at any time. A fire, a flood, an earthquake, these are not just headlines, they are real threats. We must face this truth, we must prepare for the unexpected. Ignoring the possibility of a disaster won't make it go away, in fact it makes you more vulnerable. Imagine a sudden storm, a power outage, or even civil unrest. Without a plan, panic sets in. You're left scrambling, making rash decisions. Preparation is not about living in fear. It's about taking control. It's about empowering yourself and your loved ones. When you have a plan, you have confidence, you have options, you have a fighting chance. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Take action now. Your life and the lives of those you love may depend on it. Nature is a powerful force. It can be beautiful and serene, but also brutal and unforgiving. We've all seen the images: raging wildfires consuming entire towns, hurricanes turning coastlines into debris fields, floods washing away homes and livelihoods. These events are stark reminders of nature's raw power, but disasters aren't limited to these dramatic events. Consider the silent killer drought. Crops wither, water sources dry up, and communities face famine. Or the sudden impact of a snap freeze, crippling infrastructure and leaving people stranded in freezing conditions. We can't control the weather, but we can control our response. By understanding the potential threats in our region and preparing for them, we significantly increase our chances of survival. This means having an evacuation plan, securing your home, and stocking up on essential supplies. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about potential natural disasters, the better equipped you'll be to face them head-on. Don't wait for the storm to hit, prepare for it now. Natural disasters are a clear and present danger. Our modern world is vulnerable to man-made disasters. Imagine a nationwide blackout caused by an EMP attack. Communication fails, transportation halts, food and water access becomes a struggle. Solar flares can disrupt power grids, causing chaos. Civil unrest can turn familiar streets into danger zones. Home invasions breach your sanctuary in an instant. These scenarios highlight the importance of being prepared. When disaster strikes, panic can paralyze even the bravest among us. That's where the humble checklist becomes your lifeline. A well-crafted checklist is more than just a list of items. It's a roadmap to survival, a beacon of order in the chaos. Start by identifying the specific threats you face in your region and tailor your checklist accordingly. Consider your family's needs. Do you have young children, elderly parents, or pets to consider? Factor in any special medical requirements or dietary restrictions. Your checklist should encompass all aspects of survival, including water, a minimum of 1 gallon per person per day for drinking and sanitation. Food, non-perishable items like canned goods, energy bars, and dried fruits. First aid, a comprehensive kit with bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, and any necessary medications. Shelter and warmth tents, tarps, sleeping bags, and extra clothing. Tools and supplies. Flashlights, batteries, a multi-tool, duct tape, a whistle, and a map of your area. Don't underestimate the power of a well-structured checklist. It can be the difference between surviving a disaster and succumbing to it. Section 5. Water, the essence of survival. Water is life. We can survive for weeks without food, but only days without water. In a disaster scenario, access to clean drinking water is paramount. Your checklist should prioritize water procurement and storage. Begin by stockpiling a minimum of 1 gallon of water per person per day for at least 3 days, ideally more. Store water in clean, airtight containers and rotate your supply regularly to ensure freshness. But what if your stored water runs out? Knowing how to find and purify water in the wild is crucial. Rainwater harvesting, collecting dew, and identifying natural water sources like springs and streams become essential skills. Invest in water purification tablets or a portable water filter to remove harmful bacteria and contaminants from questionable water sources. Boiling water for at least 1 minute is another effective method of purification. Remember, water is not just for drinking, it's essential for hygiene, cooking, and even first aid. Prioritizing water in your disaster preparedness plan is non-negotiable. Section 6. Food and fire, sustaining life in darkness. As crucial as water is, we can't overlook the importance of food. In a prolonged disaster situation, your body needs sustenance to maintain energy and morale. Stockpiling non-perishable food items is essential. Focus on foods that are calorie-dense, nutritious, and require minimal preparation. Canned goods, energy bars, dried fruits, nuts, and peanut butter are all good options. Don't forget comfort foods like chocolate or hard candy. They can provide a much-needed morale boost in tough times. But what happens when your stockpile dwindles? Learning basic survival skills like foraging for edible plants, fishing, and trapping small game can mean the difference between starvation and survival. Fire is another critical element. It provides warmth, cooks food, purifies water, and offers a sense of security and comfort in the darkness. Pack waterproof matches, a lighter, and fire starters in your survival kit. Learn different fire starting techniques and practice them before you need them. Remember, the ability to procure food and build a fire can transform you from a survivor into a thriver, even in the direst of circumstances. Section 7, Shelter and Security, Fortress of Hope. Your home is your sanctuary during a disaster. Reinforce doors and windows, trim overhanging branches, and secure valuables. Plan for alternative shelter if needed. Identify safe rooms or public shelters, or have a tent ready. Prepare for civil unrest. Learn self-defense techniques. Security is about creating order. Provide stability for your loved ones. Section 8, First Aid and Health Guardians of Well-being. In the aftermath of a disaster, access to medical care may be limited or non-existent. Knowing how to handle injuries and illnesses becomes paramount. A well-stocked first aid kit is essential, but it's useless without the knowledge to use it effectively. Invest in a comprehensive first aid course that covers CPR, wound care, treating burns, splinting fractures, and recognizing signs of shock and hypothermia. Practice these skills regularly so they become second nature in an emergency. Beyond physical injuries, consider the mental and emotional toll a disaster can take. Having a plan for managing stress, anxiety, and potential trauma is crucial. Pack comfort items, books, games, or anything that can provide a sense of normalcy and distraction. Don't overlook the importance of hygiene in a disaster situation. Pack hand sanitizer, soap, toilet paper, and feminine hygiene products. Improvise hand washing stations and latrines if necessary to prevent the spread of disease. Remember, maintaining your health and well-being is an ongoing process, even in the face of adversity. By prioritizing first aid and hygiene, you equip yourself to handle the physical and emotional challenges of a disaster. Section 9, Communication and Signaling, Breaking the Silence. Communication is key in any emergency situation. In a disaster, staying informed, coordinating with loved ones, and signaling for help can be the difference between life and death. Have a plan for communication if phone lines are down or cell towers are overwhelmed. Invest in a hand-cranked weather radio to receive emergency broadcasts and weather updates. Consider a two-way radio for communicating with family members who may be in different locations. Knowing how to signal for help is crucial if you're injured or stranded. A whistle can carry much farther than your voice, especially in windy conditions. A mirror can be used to signal aircraft or rescuers from miles away. Learn how to build a signal fire. The smoke can be visible for miles and signal your location to potential rescuers. Establish a designated meeting point for your family in case you get separated. Make sure everyone knows the location and has a map. Remember, communication is a two-way street. Be sure to check in on neighbors, especially the elderly or those living alone, and offer assistance if needed. Section 10, The Power of Knowledge, Survivorpedia's guidance. You've taken the first step, acknowledging the importance of disaster preparedness. Now it's time to equip yourself with the knowledge and resources to turn preparation into action. That's where Survivorpedia comes in. Survivorpedia is a comprehensive online library of over 1,000 reference documents, articles, and guides dedicated to empowering individuals with the skills and knowledge to survive and thrive in any situation. From building a fire to purifying water, from first aid to self-defense, from gardening to off-grid living, Survivorpedia covers it all. The best part, the ebook version of Survivorpedia is completely free. That's right. A wealth of life-saving information at your fingertips, accessible anytime, anywhere. Visit survivorpedia.info today and download your free copy. Don't wait for disaster to strike before you seek knowledge. Empower yourself with the information you need to protect yourself, your loved ones, and your future. Survivorpedia is your guide to resilience. Section 11. Your journey to resilience starts today. The world can be an unpredictable place. Disasters can strike anyone, anywhere, at any time. But we don't have to be victims of circumstance. By embracing the principles of self-reliance, preparedness, and resilience, we can face the unknown with courage and confidence. This journey starts with a single step. Start by assessing your risks, building your emergency kit, and developing a plan. Educate yourself on survival skills, practice them regularly, and share your knowledge with others. Don't rely on the government or external systems to save you. In times of crisis, you are your own first responder. Embrace the responsibility of self-reliance and empower yourself to become the master of your own destiny. Remember, preparedness is not about living in fear. It's about living with awareness, purpose, and the confidence that comes from knowing you can handle whatever life throws your way. Start your journey to resilience today. Visit survivorpedia.info and take control of your future.